You may be about to scroll, but let me tell you what this word says because, baby, it's tea. Welcome back to the 60-second-ish Bible study. So let me set up the framework for you. We are on 2 Samuel chapter 1, and let me remind you who David is. So David was told a while ago that he was going to be king, but he was on the run because the current king of Israel, King Saul, was trying to attack him. King Saul, baby, was not playing fair. He was trying to unalive David every chance that he got. But here's the hickory dickory. Saul looked at David as an enemy, but David looked at Saul as anointed. So even though David was a mighty warrior and he could have took out Saul on several occasions, he didn't because of his respect for the anointing that God had on his life. Now, what does this have to do with forgiveness? Oh, let's talk about it, baby. So when 2 Samuel chapter 1 starts off, David gets the news that Saul has been unalived. We would expect for David to start celebrating. I mean, the man who's been chasing you out of Israel is no longer here. Girl, throw the party. Where the barbecue? Where the matching t-shirts? You see what I'm saying? But no. See, the thing that 2 Samuel chapter 1 shows us is that David had already forgiven Saul for what he did. Imagine forgiving somebody who never said, "I'm sorry." Crazy, right? It says in verse number 11 that after David heard about Saul being unalived, David and his men tore their clothes in sorrow when they heard the news. So not only did David hear that Saul was unalived and went into mourning, but he also ended up honoring Saul. He also created a song in remembrance of both Saul and his son Jonathan. What does this say about forgiveness? See, forgiveness is not for the other person, baby. It is for you. It is so that you can live in peace and walk in your specific anointing, understanding that God has the vengeance and you ain't got to worry about it, Stink. You can either choose to accept the peace that forgiveness offers or to live in the hostility and the nervousness and the anger of bitterness. David was far too blessed, too anointed to be bitter. So he chose forgiveness. And this may be the perfect reminder for you to where when it comes to forgiving somebody else, no, it is not easy, but you were never called to do it by yourself. And guess what? Your God has your back. So if you're struggling with forgiveness, definitely check out 2 Samuel chapter 1. And read about how David gave Saul the forgiveness that he didn't deserve. Truth of the matter is, we don't deserve it either. God forgives us on the daily, baby. The daily. Don't let bitterness, anger, lack of forgiveness take up any more space in your heart. God is trying to do a new thing in you, baby. A new thing where anger, bitterness, and resentment are just going to delay what he has for you. Here's my question for you today. Are you going to accept the peace of forgiveness or live in the hostility of bitterness? Love you. Bye.